Okay, we're back again. Okay, more interruptions. Okay, these are rocker arm shims for your shovel heads and sportsers, mainly shovel heads. So anyway, they make these in 5 thou and 7 thou increments. So here's the 5s I need, 5,000s. And that fits right on the shaft relatively nicely. Boom, right on there. So I'm going to leave that on the outside edge where I'm going to run that one. That way you can see it easier, know what's there. Alright, so we'll use that. Now we got to deal with the cam gear. So I got to get this off now. Just going to get the gasket out of the way so we don't damage it. This is coming back off again because now we need to get clearance to work on our cam gear. Okay, going back to our cam gear nut puller. Another pinion nut puller. Backward thread so you tighten and loosen. Use my 2-jaw puller. Okay, get our shaft protector again. Okay, so that's off. Now we're going to measure this to see what size it actually is. As I dig through my box of pinion gears and find the early ones. There's an early one. And the late one's only half a gear. Just like this. This is really late because it has a straight hole on it. It's 93 gears. This is your late 77 through early 89, or through 89, all the way through 89. So, gear's the same size. The only difference is this has full length teeth on it, and these only have half the gear has teeth on it. Now they don't mix because the cam gears, these gears are different sizes because these two gears are different sizes. Even though they look close, they're a little bit different. So you can change both gears out together as pairs, but not each. So here's some more early gears. Here's the cam gear sitting in here. The other thing's in plastic, it's harder to see. There's a different cam gear if we needed it. Okay, this one is written down as number 1 gear, green. Or orange, excuse me, orange. So I'm assuming that's the biggest one. This one here, it's got a lot of something on there. That could be red or green, or I mean red or orange. Or just heat treat. That's heat treat material. There's no color. Let's see. That'd be a red. In the fine print it says RE on it, so that's red. Should be about the same size I already got. Don't know. Two black. There's a number 2 black. Ours is a number 3, so it should be bigger, maybe. two black, another one. And a blue one. Number 4. Here's a red one, number 4. Now, how can you have two different number 4s? Can't have two 4s. Blue and green can't be at both 4s. Somebody wrote that wrong. And this one is a yellow late model. Okay, so that's all our options right there. Okay, so lots of options. So now you measure the gear to see what it actually is. To make your measure, you put pins on it. That's not it. Those are other tools. Cam gear changing stuff and measuring tools. Okay, so these are the pins. These are gauge pins, is what they actually are called. You can buy these from tool supply places, or you can buy them from gyms to pay more money. Your choice. So we have 108 and 105 diameters. Now, what I got written down is 105 is late 79 to 89, 77 to 89, which is not what we're using. And then the 105 pin, which is, no, that's 108 pin, which is the bigger one, you use on 54 to early 77 and 90 and later. So, that'll be through 99. So we're going to use that one. Now, it doesn't really matter which ones you use to measure, because we're comparing diameters, not actually measuring. This only matters if you're measuring the diameter to what's in the book. You have to have the right pins. If you're just comparing one gear to another gear and trying to find a bigger one, it doesn't matter what you use. Use a couple drill bits, who cares? As long as they're the same thing you're measuring both gears. Okay, that's too big of a mic. 1 to 2 inch mic, not a 2 to 3 mic. Okay, so now we check it to see what it is. Okay, that's like that's on 5. Move over one tooth because I'm not sure which one was the furthest one apart. I think this is a little bit further, so it should be a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's half a thou difference. Yeah. Okay, so this is like 5.5 thousand. So I don't care what the actual full number is. I don't care about what's on the top here. It's 5.5. It's halfway to the 6. It's easy to remember 5.5. Trying to measure is 133.2. That's harder to measure. Hard to remember, I mean. Okay, this here was the red one. Measure this one. We want something bigger than 5.5. Oh yeah, this one's a lot bigger. Okay, I think this is going to be a winner right here. Or 8.5. So that's 3 thou bigger. So that's 1.5 per side. That's a good test. 3 thou is enough of a measurement to make a difference. So I'm going to put this one on and see what happens. If we don't like it, we can change it. So let me clean it real quick. Don't know where it's been, so I'll make sure it's clean before I put it aside my clean motor. Just because it came out of a new box doesn't mean it's clean. Now it's clean. Okay. Line up your keyway mark. It goes on there tight. key that worked on the other gear ain't working on this gear. Going on snug. There you go. Broaching metal as it goes, I'm sure. Okay. Tighten this up. Pretty tight. It's not like it's bottomed. Looks like it's turning correctly. That's a good sign. Okay, now we get to reverse everything we just got done doing. The only thing I care about right now is fitting this one gear. So I'm leaving out the other gear. I don't really care about the breather gear right now either. I care about that one gear. Okay, so that one's lined up where it belongs. And we do need to change the breather washer out, so we need to figure out what size that was. So that was 105.5 thou to 108. It's already a fairly thin one. Obviously it's too thick. So grab the tray full of more of them. Okay, so a tray full of them. So you have to have parts in order to work on motorcycles. So I only got a couple washers to choose from. So we want something 105, less than 105, that'd be a 100. That's a 100, but see that has a big hole in it. This has a small hole in it. Oop. Can't use a big hole where a small hole goes. So that means you can't use any of these big ones on the top. We have to drop down these ones down here. There's a small hole. Looks like they start at 110. We're going to measure them to see. Appears to be 109, 110. That's 115. 110, 110. 95, that's too small. So it appears 110 is going to be our low number. Yes. Oh, whoop, there's a 1. Nope. Same thing. Pretty much the same thing that we have. See, we got a 115 mixed in here somewhere. That one. We'll put that in the wrong spot. So it appears we can't go any less than we already have. We're committed to that one size. So either got to grind this down, which would be kind of hard to do, or I got to shorten this up a little bit, which I could do in the lathe, I guess. Take a few thou off of it. So we'll make a decision on that here in a little bit. I just don't want it to be tight, so that's my problem. Okay, so let's get back to jobbing what we're doing. Make sure this gear fits. Okay. Where is my gasket? Okay, just like we've done this before, huh? Missing a screw. See how nice that cover fits on there, even though I got tight bushings on everything? That's what you want. Good alignment. Okay. First thing we do is check our in-play. Hear how it's moving back and forth. That's what you want to hear. Tripod to be where I can see it. So you want the you want the cam gear where you can slide it back and forth. You can hear that. So that means the gears aren't too tight. Now you put your fingers in there just like we did before, and we check our backlash back and forth. Here we're not getting any. Rotate the crank a little bit, check it again. Don't hear it. Bring it around. Not getting any. Check it again. We're good. Still got our end play in there. End play still good. Okay. So we have no backlash we can hear. It's not tight because we can move the cam back and forth with our fingers, so it's not binding. So that means the teeth aren't jammed together real tight like this, jamming it up. So that pinion gear should be just about perfect. The problem is I've had some pinion gears that I fit like that and they make noise, so they whine a little bit for whatever reason. Don't know why, because they got clearance. But for now, I'm good with that. We'll try that. Now I forgot to change out that washer on the thrust washer on the cam. We need to drop another 5 off, which I didn't do. And I'm going to go back and check this in play on this breather valve, make a decision what I'm going to do on this thing. I'm just not getting any free play in it, so I don't like that, so I'm going to do some cutting on that. So I can do stuff quick or I can do it right. I can't do it both most of the time. I like hand fit and everything, so it's just right where I want it. Of course that takes longer. It's a lot harder to do because everything has to be almost perfect to make it stuff like that. But oh well, it's the way it goes. Yeah, close enough. Screwdriver fell out of my hand. Didn't hit the motor though. Alright, there we go. Knock this off. We already know this is the tight side over here. Okay, so I don't like that. Cam gear comes out. Thrust washer comes off. Okay, this was, I think, was a 50. Okay, gotta put some of these tools here. I'm gonna put our cam checking tools away here. Get too many tools out, you can't work. Okay, there's our tray. Next tray. Okay, this one was 50 thou. These are 45 thousandths here. A little dirt on this one. So there's 48, 47. That's only 2 thou loss. Not much of a gain there, is there? When it's 46 to 47, 45. All right. That'll give me a little extra. That should put us about 7,000 to 8,000 clearance overall. So we'll go with that one. Okay, so now all I can do is figure out my breather here. What I'm going to do to fix it. So I got to turn it down a little bit. So I've got to turn the teeth down right here, or I got to turn this face down right here. It's a lot easier to turn this face down than this gear on the back side. So I'm going to go and see what I can do about that. Have a good chamfer on that. Alright, so I'm going to go to the lathe and cut a little bit. Who's that sneaking in over there?
The Booger Man.
The Booger Man. Sounds like a racing helper. We gonna work on the race bike tonight? We gonna work on the race bike tonight, or work on the panhead?
I gotta do a jet change.
A jet
or
change?
Something.
You've been watching my race bike too much.
Well, I had to do. I've been running rich up off the idle circuit.
Yeah.
Then a little bit, and then lean at watt.
Yeah.
So I went to a 160 main.
From what?
From 155.
So you went up 5, okay.
Yeah. And dropped the needle.
So now you're too rich or too lean?
Now I'm fucking lean.
Hey,
I mean,
come on.
friggin' lean.
Well, you went bigger in the main. How can you be lean?
On off idle, just off the idle circuit, and then I'm pretty solid everywhere else.
So what'd you do on the needle? Anything?
I dropped the needle too.
That leaned it in the mid-range.
It leaned it out a little in the mid-range nicely, but now right off idle I'm way lean. So I'm thinking well, and the other problem is my enrichment circuit is half open.
So how's your intermediate jet? I mean your intermediate circuit feel right now with the needle change?
It's about right.
Genius over there, see?
It's just right off idle. I couldn't sit where I wanted to cruise, so it sounded awful.
Okay, so the intermediate circuit is running good now that you leaned it out?
Yeah.
Okay, the main jet, how's it feel on top? Same? Could you fatten it up?
Yeah, we're running about 14.2. I could probably go even another shade bigger.
Oh, you got that air fuel gauge on the bike, I forgot.
Yeah.
14 is extremely lean. Why are you so lean on the main jet?
Well, it's cold out. Just fired up the bike.
Yeah, but I'd put the bigger main jet. It needs a bigger main jet yet.
We could probably put a 162.5 or a 165 in it.
Yeah, because
you'd probably be happy.
If you're at 14, you need a full jet change because you're way lean on the top. What was the intermediate numbers? What'd you have for numbers on that?
Usually down in the 13s.
That's where you're at now. That's where you were.
I'm in the 13s.
Okay, so
ish. Well, I can't get a good reading because I'm having a.
That's cold air.
I didn't wanna hover in the cruise range because I was sitting lean and it was popping on me. So you open the throttle up and it richens right up.
Yeah. So you're.
But I've got a 98 needle in it, and I'm thinking of going back to a 97.
You're pretty cold there, so you're right on the edge of being too lean on that. You're right there. And what's it right off of idle? It just spits or what?
Yeah, right off idle goes straight to 17 and is really pissed.
So you need to go full size bigger on the low speed jet. So you probably got what, like a 30 down there or a 27, something like that in there? 25, what do you got in the low speed jet?
I'm not sure what the low speed jet is.
You need to go up a full number, not a half size.
How
many turns out you on the mixer screw out?
Like 1 1/4.
Yeah, you're pretty far in. That should be out closer to 2.5, 3. Couldn't tell we're on a McCuney, not a stupid ass nest. Only 2 things to change. Got all kinds of stuff to play with McCuneys. So fatten up the low speed jet one
So now
size,
the only
main
thing
jet one size, and see how that works.
only thing I'm curious about
I gotta get some work done now. Enough jetting.
is my choke is stuck partway open.
That screws up everything.
Yeah. So I'm wondering how much is gonna change when that. It's not a conventional choke; it's an enrichment valve. So.
That'd be too fast for my speed.
I mean, obviously, it's way too fat down in the bottom, but I wonder if that could also be causing the lean spot because it's. I don't know.
Well, you need to fix the choke before you fix all the other problems.
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. I might fix the choke and drop the needle one, or raise the needle one and see what happens. The main jet I think could be opened up more. That shouldn't affect
Theoretically, we just cut 5 off, but there's a real high spot for the mark. The washer's on top of the high spot. There's another 5 right there, probably. So now it's machined nice and smooth. We still got a mark there, though, because we needed that mark. Okay, I'm going to go, whoop, put that up higher where you can see it. Okay, I'm going to go clean this off, and we'll get back to the motor. Okay, we're back. Okay, I'm going to mock up now again. Got the bigger gear on it. Change out the cam shim. Get the circuit breaker adjusted. You again?
Mm-hmm.
How would you forget?
17.
Yeah, like I got one of those laying around.
Where's the metric bucket?
I put it away. I think the 17 got put in the race bike box and never got found again. Crescent wrench right there.
Might work. Or isn't it? Does a 3/4 work?
I don't know. 17 fits.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have any. Metric crap.
Yeah. The only gripe about Matunis I have.
They're metric and not American?
Yep.
Yeah, that is a problem. You could have bought a Weber. 2 McCowney copied.
See, the bitching part is I didn't have to buy this one.
Oh, that's even better. Probably came with a bike. Okay, there's our clip again. Oh, hey dumbass. Don't forget to put the spacer on there before you put the clip on it. Couldn't be I got interrupted again. There it goes. Yeah, I don't want the washer there. We'll put the washer, the shim on the inside. Okay, squeeze that back down one more time. I'll do that a few more times. I'll have to replace this thing. play in there. Probably could have put a 7 in there if I wanted to. Yeah, that's close enough. We'll leave it at that. Let's see if it tightens up a little bit when you put the cover on it. Okay, now we also have this little breather screen thing. Now you can either put these things in or not. It's kind of 50-50 on whether it's worth it or not. They jam in here and they separate the breather cavities up. So it goes through this here, but it separates the flow. The problem is you got to figure out where this thing goes. Okay, that goes up high. Gasket's in the way for doing that. Looks tight. Okay. Should work. Mark, mark, mark. We're all marked up. Gasket. Somebody stole my tool. To use a different one now. Took my Phillips. Rotates good. Cam in play. No backlash. Circuit breaker should be free. Yep. And the breather valve. Ooh, it moves now. Good. All the checks checked out, positive. So, let's see, there's the breather valve down in there. You stick your screwdriver in there. See, it goes back and forth. We now have clearance. Circuit breaker right here. Ooh. See, it's got clearance. Hard to hold it. There it goes. And the cam, of course, we already knew that had clearance. Now it's got a little bit more clearance. Get back in here. do that by my, I can't push it back and forth one finger very easily. Yeah. Can't do it with one finger. Anyway, it's got clearance too. Everybody's got clearance. There's a good thing. There's a cam in play. Oh, I just couldn't show it. You can hear it. Can't show it. Okay, so all the checks are now done, so we can actually go ahead and put this thing together for real. Yeah, I take an extra hour and a half or something. So much for slamming together, only an hour. There you go. Find the screw you needed?
I haven't looked yet, but I'm going to look now.
Alright.
Delete first.
Did you find the choke sticking open or did you fix it?
Yeah, it just got itself in a position. The cable, I think, was jammed in a spot that it didn't like after I put the carb on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's cycling well now.
We'll see how much that affects the carburetor. Still gonna do all the changes. Alright. Wrong hammer. Okay, so all that's lubed. The only thing that's not lubed is all the gears. So, leave that up. Rotate around to where the marks are. Turn it one more turn. Now they line up. Pull this out. Go ahead and lube the gear. So I do have to put a little bit of oil on each lobe. Only the part that goes up and down. I don't care about the heel. That. Make sure you have enough on that. And then we lubricate the gear itself. There we go, like that. Now everything's lubed. You making a mess over there?
Usually.
There we go. So all the marks are lined up now. Like that, you can kind of see in there. Oop. There we go. There's the breather mark, cam timing, ignition timing. Generator doesn't matter. So they're all lined up. That's where it belongs. And we get to go ahead and goop up all the important parts. We didn't put any lubricant on the circuit breaker gear. So go ahead and put a little lube on it right now. And this way, put it on the idler gear here. I failed to do that earlier.
Found it.
Didn't know what was missing. Okay. I should go over here in the oil pump gear too while I'm at it. I think I failed to do that too. Too many interruptions. I'll rotate around a little bit. Get some more of the areas I missed before. think we're lubed good enough on that now. A little bit over here in the cam cover bushings. Now these bushings like to stick when you get them too tight and don't have any oil in them, because it's only a splash lubricated device, so it doesn't get a lot of oil to it. So you definitely want to make sure you got lubricant in it. Same on the pinion bushing, get a little bit on that. It is pressure fed though. On the race bike, I've actually drilled a gallery through here down into here and picked up oil pressure. The pressure feed it on gear. I've done that before. On a race bike. Had a habit of sticking the bushings. Didn't stick anymore after I did that. But that would be a modification from the original design if you did that. Okay, now we take our gasket goop. That'll be the gasket cinch. I know everybody's going to ask again what I use. Okay, you goop up all your surfaces. So that means you goop up this surface. Okay. You get the cam cover surface. That's 2 down. Now you get the gasket surface over here on the actual gasket. Gasket cinch has a very low buildup, and it rubs itself to pieces and disappears, so it doesn't leave any residue to speak of. So it's a low hazard to the inside of the motor. Lose something?
No. Do you have any tweezers?
Top center drawer. Toolbox. All the good shit's in the top center drawer. Okay. Put the gasket on. If it's still wet, it doesn't stick instantly, but if it's tacky on both sides, it'll stick. As soon as it touches, it'll stick, and you're screwed if you want to move it. There you go. And take our cam cover and put it on for real this time. There you go. Starting to look like a motor finally. Oops, pinion glue left over. Okay, these are screws we've been using the whole time. Put them all in. And we get the rest of the pack over here. Well, this customer wants polished aluminum with chrome hardware all over the motor. Some guys like the cat on everything. And the real old bikes, you want black on everything. So you have to figure out what the customer wants when you do these things. Okay, there's all those. Stuff in the way. Gotta get your tools out of your way. Too much crap hanging down the way. Okay, one more through the foot. There it is. So this is for 65, 63 to 65. So this is your oil feed line, feeding your outside oil line for your top end, which is this whole thing right here. Now he wanted chrome hardware, so I'm not sure if he wants to chrome that or not. If he does, I have one right here, so I'll let him decide what he wants to do. Meantime, I'm going to use his old one. That'd be a cost-saving point. We'll see what he wants to do. That's easy enough to change down the road. Just like we're using this oil pump plug over here. I'm not sure if they even make that in chrome, but it would definitely cost quite a bit probably. Tweezers do the trick. Tweezers do the trick.
I actually ended up getting it out with a scribe.
Ah. Oh, you found another fancy tool over in that drawer, didn't you?
Maybe. One of my favorites.
Yeah. Draw some blood too while you're at it?
Yeah.
Scribes are good for making you bleed. Yeah, left one off.
So should I stay with the 97 or stay with the 98 or go to the 97?
I don't know.
I'm on the fence.
Where's your clip at? One up or one down or two up?
I was 2 up. I was too lean on the bottom, but then once I got it opened up, it was about in the around 13.
If you're all the way to extreme or where the needle is, change the needle. If you're just one notch one way or the other, don't worry about it. I know what position you're in. Okay, we use the impact knocker to tighten these up.
Well, supposedly.
So if you're too big of a blade, it'll bottom out on the side of the screw and not the bottom. And that'll tend to split the screw out and break it. So if you use a thinner one, it goes all the way to the bottom of the screw and tightens it. The disadvantage is it got more twisting room and tends to nick the screw up more. Okay, I don't like beating on the end of the crank, so you hold it like this. This is where the engine stand comes in handy. So you have to jump up there and get an engine stand off the wall up there. Way up there at the ceiling up there. Ow. Can't even see the damn thing. It's way up there though. One engine stand. Oh, that's not even the right one. That's for a stupid twin cam. What happened to all my Harley engine stands? Used them all up again. Yeah. They're all in use again. I'll use this bent up one here. Look how bad that thing is. It's a piece of crap. Customer left it here. heavy for some reason. Let's see, what do we got in hardware to hold it down with? There's one. He's a piece of crap. Not the motor, the engine stand. Alright, need one more. All we need is 2 bolts, right? Oh yeah, there's no interference at all on that stand. It's already screwed up the threads and the bolts. That didn't take long. Okay, now I'm going to knock it. So I start in the center of my cover and I work my way out. Move it around a little bit. Start going out with it. You hear him kind of tighten up on the second hit. Popped. Let's see, I already did that one, I think. Yep. This one. Okay, that was once all the way around. Now we come and give it the final torque. They're not moving very much because they're tight. I missed this one. Yeah, I missed that one from before. This one I got. Yep, that one's tight. And the last one up here. Okay, those are all pretty tight. Now I got our big one here. A little bit too big. Use this one. Okay, so now all the screws are in there and tight. Make sure everything moves and rotates like it's supposed to. Fairly free. See how the crank moves it up. So that means you don't have a ton of binding in it, which is what you don't want to see. Go 180 around. Flywheels should still move a little bit on their own still. See? Just from the flywheel weight. There you go. So if it's got more drag than that, there's too much drag. Usually there's something binding it up, which is not a good thing. Alright, so I got that part finally done. It really took any time at all. So now we're going to move on to our lifter blocks. So these I painted. They've been honed, just flash honed, take the high spots out. Painted and baked. When you bake to paint it, it gives that real glossy finish to it. I'll go ahead and put brand new lifters in it. These are Eastern brown. Not gems, they're a lot cheaper. So. Customer wanted to save a little bit of money on them, so we got 4 of those we're going to put in. I'm going to go ahead and cut all this stuff up, or cut all these bags out, clean them all up, and we'll come back and put them in. We'll be back.